Hey guys, welcome to the next episode in Let's Play Football Manager 2014, and I'm still at Perth Glory. Huzzah! And this is the table then, if you have a look, and we're third, in fact, now. So we're climbing up the table. We are doing a tad better than I thought we would. I'm actually I think it should say down here on the boardroom. Job security is very secure. I think it was. Yeah, there it is. Very secure. But unfortunately, we're not in the dark green colours, which is where you want to be, really. If you're not top of the table, you want to be there. And unfortunately, Wellington Phoenix won the elimination final series. Bit of a giveaway, but what can I do? It's there. I'll go over a few other things. Our balance, as you can see, has improved greatly. And there's Josh Riston there, transfer listed. He will come off that, I just want to point out. But overall, a reasonably successful season, I would say. We didn't win anything, but thought we did okay. People have gone here. I've had to get rid of people. There's Luongo's transfer. Not spent any money bringing people in. Let's see, is Guillaume... I cannot say the guy's damn name. I'm scared of the accent. I don't know if the accent means something, but is it Gaguse? I'm not quite sure how I pronounce that. Gaguse? I don't know. But unfortunately, certain players have had to be released because of the whole squad registration thing. You want to include certain players, but you can't. And then if you don't, they get released, which I think is ridiculous. But what can you do? A few other players have signed here. As you can see, there's Brenton Hinich. He was signed and then immediately released at the end of the season. Daniel Mullen here, who was signed from Brisbane, is more experienced. Tried to bring in a bit more experience left back, or sorry, full back even. Matt Stevenson's goalkeeper, 20 years old, 5-star potential, and in fact 5-star ability. So he is now my new number one. Sam Murphy, who is only, in fact, okay. He was released almost instantly, which was ridiculous. And Shannon Borgo, who looks very decent, or could be decent. He's only 17 at the minute, but he has 5-star potential and 3.5 at the current minute. So again, there are players. I mean, this is Setsos or something. I don't know how you pronounce his name. He was decent, but again, it's the damn squad registration thing. It's so infuriating. But what can you do? This is the detailed look at the A-League. As you can see, we only finished 2 points behind Melbourne Heart. Admittedly, our goal difference was again a bit inferior. But the Central Coast Mariners dominating the league again. They truly dominated. I think they were in fact undefeated until like Christmas or around Christmas. If I look at their squad, and you can see any players. Tim Payne, I'm sure he's a real player. Who's he played for at the minute? I know he does. As Dean Bouzanis, any Liverpool fan will remember him, the goalkeeper. He was number one. The reserves number one for a while. Oh my God, they have Mick Foley. By God, King! Sean Curry is a very good striker for this level. Very good. But let's have a look at their fixtures very quickly. When did they lose? Their first defeat was, in fact, about 3 weeks or so before Christmas. When they actually lost 3 on the bounce. Very amusing. But let's look at our fixtures. This time we got off to a much better start. A 2-1 victory over the Melbourne Victory, who have now actually broken a record. I'll show you this real quick. Let's see. Most games without winning. Melbourne Victory. Where are they? 22, 5th of November 2021. So that was last season. To 10th of April 2022. Oh, sorry, the start of last season, I should say. Yeah, they've gone on a terrible run, and yeah, I mean, that's why they're bottom. I mentioned last time they were quite good. Not the case at all. No, they've lost it totally. Brody and Diarra with the goals, and even our defence had a decent game, but we're still not keeping that clean sheet. We're not keeping too many of them, put it that way. But Diarra, man of the match, he came in and did really great job. This was start of the second half. Couldn't believe this. I was like, we're not going to blow this one again. Surely at the start of the season, all the build up, half bloody year of build up virtually. But this was great stuff in the end. Brody with a nice finish there, knocked down from Alejandro, instant reply virtually. And then this is in the 80th minute, I think. 73rd minute. Brandon O'Neill getting forward. He will be the new captain, incidentally, at Risdon. I've had to say his performances were so poor that I had to say, look, I want to take the captaincy off here, and decided to give it to Brandon O'Neill. So a nice finish there from Diarra. Goalkeeper probably should have done better, but what can you do? Then we beat Newcastle Jets 2-1. Brody scoring again, and Ivankovic. He always scores them big goals, and especially in the 43rd minute, especially after Ricardo Roque here had put Newcastle Jets 1-0 up, and it looks like they were going to go in front at half time, which would really been a pain in the ass, because I felt that certainly in this game we deserved to at least go in level. But look at this run. It just did not stop, and then quite luckily, I've got to admit, falls to Roque here. Very unfortunate. And then there's Ivankovic, it just fell to him and he just smashed it. This is still in the first half, I should point out. But there's the winning goal. Mark Brody, 84th minute. Good stuff. Fortunately, then we lost to Sydney, 2-1. Hancock did get his first goal, and there's the first signs of Josh Risdon not doing at all well. We then beat Brisbane 4-0, very convincing. We finally did keep a clean sheet. Graham Stevenson, once you introduce this guy, you didn't really see much of him last season. He got the odd goal here and there, but he is now going to start to come into his own a little bit. Then there's Setos and Damien Bennett off the bench. Is he still here? No, he's not, unfortunately. He's a youngster. Well, he was youngish. I think he's been here for a while. Then the CCM beat us 4-1, bit of a pain. Lee Broxham had a bit of a shocker. So did Graham Stevenson. Alejandro and Gagusi here, whatever he's called, got injured, but at least we scored against them this time. This early on in the season. And then we lost 4-2 to the Wanderers. Stevenson and Hancock scoring for us, but it wasn't enough. George Risdon, 3.9. I mean, that is abysmal. I think he had... have you ever... I know I've seen players with worse ratings than that, but that is pretty freaking bad. I have seen a 0.1. I don't know how bad you have to be to get that rating. But yeah, he was friggin' annoying, I've got to say. Really, really... Oh, so depressing looking at that. Broxham did score an own goal as well. So, and I love how his rating's still 6.8. He scores a friggin' own goal. I don't get it. Adelaide 2-1. Brody with 2. I'll show you these two very quick. Still no clean sheet. Just to point out again. There's that Christopher Cristaldo, who always scores against us. He scored against last season. I think he will do again in the future, because his name does ring a bell. But good work there from the left back. Hancock then finds Brody. Poor goalkeeping twice. For God's sake, catch them or hold on to them or something. And we had been knocking at the door all game there, and I don't think we deserved anything less than that, really. Hancock doing a lot of tracking back. He will, as I say, come into his own with the goals. You may have seen a little sneak peek before if you've got a good eye. He ended up with 17 goals. It's like, I want to say a lucky goal there for Adelaide. Cristaldo, I don't know if I hit him or whatever he actually meant it, but another Brody penalty puts us 2-1 off and gave us a victory. I had a great game against Wellington Phoenix here. 4-3. Brody, Hancock and Stevenson with an also an own goal, I think. Yep. Brody penalty in the 91st minute. I mean, look at that. They may have dominated more possession. Well, I'd say dominated. They had 20% more. Daniel Mullen there, 3.3. It's getting worse, I realise. Les Borg with a 5.8. You can get an idea of what's going on here. I think this is also down to the level of football that's being played. It's not really all that great. 0-0 with Melbourne Heart. I was fairly happy. And again, left back, 5.3. Poor rating. 2-1 against Melbourne. So a repeat again, this time at home. Hancock and Stevenson. In fact, I might just show you these goals. We won't show you Bentley's goal, as they are completely irrelevant. Melbourne victory. They have not put up any sort of effort to anyone for a long time now. Here's Hancock. We do like to sort of... Well, I've tried to use the whole go route one tactic, but it really doesn't work. I don't know why, but it just... I don't know, it just does not work for us. I can't explain it. I think when we try it, the opposition just read it like a book. Maybe we just need to have a bit more time with it, I don't know. But there goes Brody again. Lovely header there by Hancock over the goalkeeper, looping header, and that was 2-1. And that brought to an end a good run of results for us, I should say. We did lose to Newcastle Jets, which was disappointing. Risdon again, poor performance. Stevenson did score, but that really is all to come. That's all I can say about that one, really. Sydney, Vlasic, who unfortunately got released. Shane released. He was actually quite good, but my assistant is an idiot and released him. Hancock, actually, was it? I'm not sure. I can't remember. Anyway, Hancock scoring again. Stevenson not having a good game this time. There's always one that lets the side down. We then plus 5 past Brisbane. Hancock with a hat-trick. And there's youngster Connor Wicks, who I also released. He didn't look all that great. And Nathan Slater, again, getting on the score sheet. And there's signs of Sestos, or whatever he's called, with a 5.4. That was a cracking game against the Central Coast Mariners here. Kevin Kagusi scoring. Stevenson, I think I may have played them as the left winger, in fact. Stevenson and Alejandro with the goals. Chris Halligan, 3.8. Oh dear. We did concede 6, however. That is a real problem. We beat the Wanderers 3-2. Stevenson, Diarra and Alejandro with the goals. Lots of bookings for them as well. Came from 2-0 down to win 3-2. I'll show you these goals real quick. No one having a particularly bad rating this time as well, which is decent. I mean, Mullen has 6.6, but it's hardly what I'd call nightmarish. You know, like the 3s that we just saw from earlier. They are stuff of nightmares. As I say, I have seen someone, I think, posted on the Football Manager subreddit, saying they had like a player with a 0.1 rating. I mean, it could have been photoshopped. I doubt it. I don't think anyone would really post that. But yeah, I don't know what you would have to do. Would you have to score maybe a hat-trick of own goals, miss a penalty, and get injured, maybe? You know, to have a 0.1 rating. I think if anything, an injury actually puts your rating up. So, but yeah, as you can see, we're 2-0 down against the Wanderers here. Alejandro, really nice finish. Hasn't been as goal scoring as he was last season, but he's got a load of assists. He was for a long time actually leading the assist chart, but I think he got injured, and obviously fell down in the end. Diarra there at the near post, and we got back on level terms pretty quickly from that first goal. And then here we go with the winning goal in the end. Stevenson going through, nice pass from Mullen, and easy as you like, 3-2 against Wanderers. Good stuff here. 4-1 against Adelaide. Brody with a double. Stevenson and Alejandro, so he's starting to get into gear now just a bit with his goals. And then 3-3, another good game against Melbourne Heart. Hancock with 2 and Brody with another. Gagusi there having a poor game, and there's once again the supposed leader of the pack, Josh Risdon, having a poor game. Terrible, terrible captain he is. We then lost to Wellington 3-1. Hancock did score again. Gagusi having a bad game, and again Josh Risdon, poor. Victory, Melbourne victory, got a draw, probably should have won here. Again, defence having a shocker. Graham Stevenson didn't get too much from this, but I'll show you Hancock's goal here. Mitch Scott scoring for them in the 86th minute. They probably did deserve it, but what can you do? Lovely free kick here. Goalkeeper probably should have done a lot better. And yeah, that's all really is to say on that one. We beat Sydney 3-1. Stevenson with 2 and Alejandro. I'll show you these goals because this was a pretty big game, especially going to Sydney. You know, we don't usually. I guess we've done okay in the past there, but usually you don't win these games, or very often anyway. Brandon O'Neill, I think at this point was the new captain. Or he should have been anyway. Nice finish from Stevenson. That is not even a minute gone. Absolutely delighted with that. Diarra getting involved here. He sort of drifts in and out of the game. Diarra, nice finish there from Alejandro. And this is the third, I think. Or was it the Sydney goal? I can't remember. They have a player called George, which is a bizarre surname. Alejandro has a lot of pace. He's quite clever going down this right-hand side. I'm really happy with the player, especially considering he signed when he was like 18, 19. And he's coming through. So that's 3-0 in half an hour against Sydney. I couldn't believe what I was watching. It was fantastic stuff. 0-0 versus the Newcastle Jets. Not really much to talk about here. Brody was out of form and had a bad game, and that was it really. They held out. Again, a mauling by the Central Coast Mariners. They are just too good. Simple as, you know, they are heads and tails above everyone in this league. I just realised I said heads and tails, so that should be head and shoulders. What a terrible analogy. 2-1 against Brisbane here. Alejandro and Hancock with the goals. Probably should have been a bit more comfortable, but in the end, the victory is a victory. We lost 1-0, fortunately, to Adelaide, and this put us really on the back foot again, because as you saw in the league earlier, it was really tight, and you know, one loss and you could fall all the way down from second to like sixth, you know, and then you're fucked. So that one really set us back a bit. Gagusi letting us down big time there. I think it was. It could have just been the glitch. And then we had this Shannon Borgo. He's only, I think he was like 16 at the time, or just turned 17, complaining that he wanted first team football. I mean, for fuck's sake, he's 17, for God's sake, what do you want to do? So I was like, right, you want first team football, prove to me you're good for this team. And he was awful. And he cost us a place in the semi-finals. Because in the end, well, whilst we beat the Wanderers 4-0, Hancock getting a hat-trick, and the captain O'Neill scoring, and we even beat Phoenix 2-1 with the goals from Hancock and Hinich, man for the big occasion. In fact, he was that big occasion. 94th minute, check this one out. He'd barely, as you can see, he's barely played all season. And I thought, right, here's an opportunity for you, kid, go out and do it. Hancock, Hinich, oh, can you believe it? And that sent us back like second, or I think we were second in the end. And I thought, right, here's our chance. And it put us level with Melbourne Heart. So it was like, basically, whoever wins gets second place. Do you think won? It was something like that anyway. And unfortunately we lost. Les Borg put us in front, but Josh Risdon again having a bad game. And yeah, that happened. This Paolo Rattray, I think is how you say his name. Good player. Les Borg did get man of the match. He's been very sort of in and out of the team, Borg, because he's been very much so out of form. But what a good free kick that was. Got some really good set piece takers here. He's only 22, I think. Chitty then equalising. Chitty. For Melbourne Heart. And then on the hour mark, this happened. This was really bad. Stevenson, I don't want to criticise him because he was unlucky. I mean, he did quite well to get to it there, but just didn't get enough hand on it. And that unfortunately meant we had to play an eliminator, which was easy enough as we played Adelaide 2-1 and 1 in extra time. Stevenson and Borg with the goals. In fact, Les Borg in the 119th minute. And hey, look, there's Christopher Cristaldo again. Getting a bit tired of his shit, to be honest. And yes, you are reading that right. They had 39 shots. Although, the only thing I would say about this Cristaldo guy, the reason why he always scores against us is because he is so damn trigger happy with his shooting. He just does not stop shooting. So he probably had 20 shots or something. 13 minutes gone. There's Stevenson with the goal. And then this is their equaliser here. I think. Yep. Hancock and Stevenson really formed that partnership. But whilst they were good, they weren't overly consistent for my liking. I didn't like that. Cristaldo, again, it just magically falls to him, obviously. And that was just start of the second half. They equalised. And then Borg, in the last few minutes of added time, looks like we're going to penalties. Basically repeats what he did in the last game. What an absolutely belting free kick. That put us through to the semis. We beat Melbourne Heart this time. Slight bit of revenge, I guess. With 2 goals for Hancock, Borg, and Hinich again. Man for the big occasion. 116th minute. Bang. And this was also in Melbourne as well. There's Poulton and Rattray scoring again. They had way more shots than us, but it's, again, we make them count. That's the difference, I guess you could say. And we managed to get through to the final. I can't believe I actually call it the finals. It's like an American term, I suppose. But nice stuff here. There's Hancock. Really come good this season. Him and Brody, him and Stevenson. I'm trying to figure out a good partnership. Maybe the goalkeeper could have done a little bit better there. Got him in the play, got in front of him, but I reckon he probably should have done better there. Broxham, who will be retiring next season, even though he's only like 30 something. Borg with a header, lifted it over the goalkeeper, allowed Borg to get in there and slide that one away. But then again, back came Melbourne Heart. There's Paolo Rattray again, and that's in the last 10 minutes. So we went on to added time. There's Timothy Hancock in the 95th minute. Of course, this is into added time. But then they had the penalty of their own 10 minutes later, right on half time. I think that was in extra time. And then in the last 5 minutes of the second half, this happened. It's Branson Hinich once again. Nice build-up play here. Play through. Nice finish, but unfortunately, that's the only time he really applied, a really quality finish. I mean, the last goal he scored there wasn't a great finish, and we just hit it into what was basically an empty net. So that was the only time he played. But man for the big occasion, I guess. He's been released now, but will be remembered fondly for them 2 big goals. So how did we do in the final then? We lost, obviously, Wellington Phoenix won because we talked about it earlier. Unfortunately, it was even at the Perth Oval. The grand final, Hinich, I thought, here's your time to shine, lads. Have a good game. And the front 3 just all totally flopped. Hancock had a crap game, so did Stevenson, so did Hinich. And even it's most of the back four. No one particularly stood out. No one had what you could describe as a good game. And that's all you needed, just the one player to have a little bit of magic. But here's the goal. As you can see, we start having the most shots this time. More shots on target. Possession was 50-50. But they won out in the end. Their goalkeeper, as you can see, was man of the match, a 9.2. That just says it all, really. I don't know if you could criticise the players there, really, for that. But when you have, a goalkeeper... 9.2. 8.2, I should say. What can you do? Goalkeeper's on form. It was like Tim Krul against Tottenham the other week. There was no way they were beating them. So that is that then. So unfortunately, no elimination series final thingy for us this season. Timothy Hancock, though, coming on leaps and bounds. Average rating, that is the club high average rating of 7.66 for the whole season. Finished on 17 goals, joint second there with Curry and Bakary. And he also had the most man of the match awards with 8 across the season. Harry Kewell has left Sydney. He is no longer the manager. He is just a free agent now. And Jordan Darcy, who I believe used to play for Perth. Let's have a look. No, he didn't. He was, in fact, the manager in 2017, the one before me, I would assume then. So, yeah, Alejandro also there with 10 assists were played to him. So that's where we are. I'm going to go away and play another season, and we'll see how we do in a year's time. Maybe I might even... I don't know if I'm going to go to another club or not. I doubt it, because I want to actually try and win this something here. I don't want to spend 3 years in Australia not doing anything. So... also, one real quick thing I do want to show you is the Youth League. We won the Youth League for the first time. I was made up with this, absolutely made up. First, if you go to view competition history, first time for Perth Glory, in fact, getting anywhere near the top 3. In fact, AISA, the Australian Institute of Sport, can you imagine that? In England or something like St George, what's that new footballing centre called, like St George's something, or... I don't know what it's called, St George something. Imagine them making like a football team. But yeah, first time we ever won it. I'll show you the Perth Glory youth team here then. So as I've talked about, a lot of high potential. We've got Joshua Johnson here. Yep, I know. Jared Dawson, Slater played. We've got Basarin Suma, I think is how you say that. Statis Papadopoulos, good player. All these players. I mean, you can read them for yourself here, but they look good, and there's a lot of good potential youth for the future. And as you can see, the finances are looking better, so the club is looking a lot nicer than when I first arrived, I would have to say. So thanks very much for watching. Give the video a like, and I will see you next time for the 2022-2023 season. So until then, bye-bye.